Did talk about the Epstein files, and he was extremely angry at me that I had signed the discharge petition to release the files. I fully believe that those women deserve everything they're asking. They're asking for all of it to come out. They deserve it. And he was furious with me.
What did he say?
He said that it was going to hurt people.
You see, let me tell you about these people behind me. They are tired. They are so damn tired of this bullshit right here. You know what they think of when they think of Vanguard? They think of BlackRock. And we're all still wondering why Thomas Crooks, who shot Donald Trump in an ear, was on a BlackRock commercial. Here, let me explain to you another reason why I'm here other than talking to the EPA. This has been the number one issue of calls I have had coming into my office, and I get a lot of phone calls. I get all kinds of phone calls. I get death threats. As a matter of fact, the Capitol Police sent me a report this morning that I've been in Congress 5 years, and my office has reported 773 death threats for me. And I drove up here in my own car with my 9mm in my glove box.
All right, folks, you know what's not being talked about enough right now? Marjorie Taylor Greene. And this subject hits home for me personally because I was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. And as I got older, I spent a lot more time in North Georgia near Marjorie Taylor Greene's district, actually in her district. I knew people who voted for her, and it is absolutely crazy to me that she has now apparently flipped on Trump and is going with this whole new angle. Humbly, I'm sorry. Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying she's turning a new leaf after years of divisive comments. And I want to get into this because the real question I keep asking myself is, should we believe her? My opinion is absolutely not. But I also want to clue you into a few things you probably haven't heard about. Before we dive deep, let me say this. We're trying to build something big here to punch back against MAGA media and all the disinformation coming from the other side of the aisle. So if you want to help us do that and be part of this community, hit that subscribe button. It goes such a long way, and we appreciate each and every one of you. By the way, I am trying to do my best to gather all the information I can for you and share it with you. Please leave your likes and comments, and I would be grateful if you subscribed. Let's continue. Let's hop right into this. Marjorie Taylor Greene recently did a 60 Minutes interview about the fact that she and Trump had this big breakup and she's done with him. And she was talking specifically about the Epstein files. Listen to this clip because it's revealing. The interviewer asks about the Epstein files and Greene says, "We did talk about the Epstein files and he was extremely angry at me that I had signed the discharge petition to release the files. I fully believe that those women deserve everything they're asking for. They're asking for all of it to come out. They deserve it." And he was furious with me. When asked what Trump said, Greene responds, "He said that it was going to hurt people." And you can almost see her look to the side, her brain recounting this conversation with Trump, and she just leaves it hanging there. Interesting choice. Now here's the thing. I don't disagree with her on this specific aspect. It's still not talked about enough, and I know that might sound insane, but think about it. The sitting president of the United States was best friends with one of the most prominent sexual predators of our lifetimes, at least one of the most well-known. Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump were close friends. They hung out all the time. I scream about this constantly. Donald Trump is a predator. This is someone who's been found liable for sexual abuse, found liable for defaming a woman he sexually abused, found liable for defamation again. He has 25+ sexual assault allegations. The way he talks about women is gross and disgusting, and he's the president of the United States. Here's a story you may have never seen before. It took me and the team a while to dig this up, and I feel like it's not talked about often enough. The headline reads, "Trump Flaunts Teen for Vodka Party 2008, with a subhead about a 17-year-old vodka server. We had to blur part of the image because this girl was apparently serving vodka underage at a Trump party for his vodka line, and she was naked except for body paint. Donald Trump and his vodka line could be in hot water after pictures surfaced of this 17-year-old girl naked, except for body paint serving drinks at this Super Bowl party for Trump vodka. Another article titled "Trump Spreads Fertilizer in Vodka Scandal" goes into more detail. Let me read you a quote. The Donald now is casting blame at the 17-year-old girl who ended up naked at his party. Trump says she's probably just a publicity whore. His reps tell TMZ with a straight face that this individual crashed the party and just happened to have her whole body painted with Trump vodka logos. And this so-called party crasher was allowed to serve up the vodka. Trump's rep says, given the circumstances, we can only guess that she crashed the event to seek publicity for herself. So literally just blaming this 17-year-old girl when obviously Trump hired her. Trump must have known. Somebody in the venue must have known. It's obvious she wasn't crashing the party. When have you and your friends ever been like, hey guys, let's crash a party and work as the bartender? It's absurd. And I haven't heard this story talked about anywhere. This girl is 17. That is disgusting. And there are so many stories like this about Donald Trump. With Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think you take what she gives you. If she's going to push against Trump around these Epstein files, as we all should, okay, fantastic. She's on the team for this specific issue. But be very, very, very careful with Marjorie Taylor Greene. On her way out of MAGA world, she's all of a sudden taking this very different tone. This was essentially a town hall she did recently. Listen to her new rhetoric. Let me tell you about these people behind me. They are tired. They are so damn tired. You know what they think of when they think of Vanguard? They think of BlackRock. And we're all still wondering why Thomas Crooks, who shot Donald Trump in the ear, was in a BlackRock commercial. She goes on about getting death threats, about driving herself with a 9mm in her glove box. It's interesting she's thankful for Capitol Police now when she was one of the main proponents of the 2020 election lie, especially in Georgia. That caused Capitol Police officers to get beaten over the head, tased in the neck. Several of them ended up taking their own lives afterward. Think about that. Individuals who swore an oath to protect the Capitol sat alone and scared after being pummeled with death threats and hate from MAGA, and people like Greene calling them part of some deep state conspiracy. The PTSD from the event was overwhelming, and they took their own lives. Be very, very careful when it comes to people like this. That's my take, and you may have a different one. But I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is being very manipulative and very smart. It's possible she's prepping herself for a post-Trump Republican Party. She continues, I didn't come rolling in with a nice fancy security team like you guys did. I didn't come in on a private plane like you guys did. But the amount of phone calls I've had coming into my office from this community, livid, begging, pleading, shouting about this disgusting situation, they don't want this here. It's a tale as old as time. You prey on a rural community. Look at this recent tweet she sent out. Typical of Republican men telling a woman to shut up, get back in the kitchen, and fix me something to eat. F you. In the sweetest, most southern drawl I can enunciate, I have been trying to tell all you men that our kitchen pantry is empty with spider webs. Our house has been ransacked. The windows and doors are broken and busted, and the greedy rich bastards have twisted your mind into a sick state that you all continue in the two-party toxic political system that acts like college football playoffs, yet is burying you and your children in a pine box in a shallow grave. Get off your ass and fix your own damn food and clean up the kitchen when you're done. Wow, a very different tone toward Republicans, toward Republican men, torching her own party. But again, please, please, please do not let Marjorie Taylor Greene get away with this. Don't let her get away with the fact that she's up 142% on stock she bought days before ICE was awarded a massive contract. This woman only cares about herself. She's just like Donald Trump. She cares most about power and then enriching herself. That's it. Those are her top two priorities. My hope is that moving into a potentially post-Trump Republican world, whatever that looks like, people don't allow Marjorie Taylor Greene to take this tone of, oh, I'm really sorry I was the main proponent of toxic politics. We want to encourage people to change, right? But there have to be levels to this. She was the most toxic politician over the last 4 years. The amount of rampant racism, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, conspiracy theories, 2020 election lies, and now it's just like, oh, I wanted to change. The thing is, you take what she gives you on the Epstein files, In case you missed the most recent drop, we got pictures from Jeffrey Epstein's island for the first time ever. Pictures that hadn't been seen publicly, released by the House Oversight Committee. This is from a main living room in one of the buildings on Epstein's island. Notice something? The gold plating looks very, very, very familiar. A lot of people mention the Trump-Epstein connection as potentially the greatest scandal in American history. You've seen these emails of Jeffrey Epstein talking to Ghislaine Maxwell, talking about Donald Trump and the fact that he was around all the time. I'm at the door, but I will wait for my time. I don't want to come early to find Trump in your house. These communications exist, so let Marjorie Taylor Greene make this push on the Epstein files, but be careful and stay tuned because just recently, a judge approved the release of Epstein grand jury documents in Florida. A federal judge ordered the release of previously sealed testimony after legislation passed last month authorizing the disclosure. This is very specific information on Jeffrey Epstein. It's a small batch if you think of everything that's potentially available to the public, but important nonetheless. Keep talking about this. Keep making your voices heard. Right now in American history, this is not an easy time to be politically involved. But truly, from the bottom of my heart, I hope you know that I am so proud of you because you keep at it every single day, whether that's talking to friends and family, whether that's just watching videos and staying informed, whether that's sharing videos, making videos, working in politics in your local area, volunteering at a food bank. Whatever you do, just know it matters, and I am proud of you. The bigger picture here is about recognizing manipulation when we see it. Marjorie Taylor Greene spent years being one of the most divisive, toxic voices in American politics. She pushed conspiracy theories, spread racism and hatred, undermined our democratic institutions, and contributed to an environment that led to violence and tragedy. Now she's rebranding herself as some kind of truth teller, standing up to Trump. Be skeptical. Be very skeptical. Yes, if she's pushing for Epstein file releases, support that specific effort. If she's calling out Trump's connections to a convicted sex trafficker, amplify that message. But don't forget who she is and what she's done. Don't let her use one good position to rehabilitate a career built on lies and division. Hold her accountable for her past while acknowledging when she does something right. That's the balance we need to strike. Not blind hatred, but not blind acceptance either. Critical thinking and a long memory for those who've caused real harm to our political discourse and our country.